What up, man? Welcome back to the spray booth. Anyhow, I want to get started on getting this thing prepped for paint. Basically, the only thing I'm gonna do is just sand it really good. Maybe hit it with some rattle can primer on the bare metal and stuff, and just get this thing shot black, bro. If you didn't notice, it's dark out. I'm wanting to get this done tonight so that tomorrow I could actually put it on the car. You know what I'm saying? I need to find my fenders too. That would be freaking dope to be able to actually put the fenders, the hood, the headlights all on tomorrow, and kind of get an idea what the face of this thing is gonna look like. I think I'm gonna hold off on painting my front bumper. My rear bumper should be ready for paint. I mean, we already cut it already. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else to it. I was thinking about drilling the holes. I don't know. I gotta think about that right now. I want to drill the holes before paint so I don't have to worry about, you know, you guys understand. But anyhow, I gotta get set up. Alright, now before I even get started on sanding this thing, I want to get the holes drilled on the back side of this. You guys know we need to drill some holes here so heat can escape from the engine bay. I know I've seen a lot of comments of people telling me to like do the word Gotham or Deadbeats or something in there. I'm not going to do any words, bro. I'm simply just going to throw some holes across there, man. I'm not trying to get all fancy. If I had like a CNC table router or something to actually cut it out, you know, computer navigatedly, I might do that, but I'm not cutting words out by hand, bro. I'm not trying to cross that path. It is a dope ass idea, but alright, well, like I said, I have some spray paint primer. Spray paint primer. So I have the rear bumper here, and I'm wanting to actually attach this thing before I paint it, you know what I'm saying? So we can figure out our attachment points, and if I gotta drill holes or whatever, I can go ahead and do so without worrying about damaging the paint. And then after we get it attached, just pull it off and then spray it. And then we already have it all set up to where we can just throw it back on whenever our paint dries. Alright, so what I'm doing back here where the bumper originally bolted up, I left all these holes in here whenever I like mutilated the back end of this car so that we would still have a place to mount the bumper. What I'm doing though is sending these longer number 10s through the bottom so that the threads are sticking up, kind of like a stud, you know what I'm saying? So the idea here is I have one on both ends, and then I have this long one that I'm going to put in the center. This is just going through our drawers. This is what I was able to find. So since being this one is so like weird, what I'm going to do is screw it down and then go ahead and just cut the head off. And then the idea here is I'll be able to just take the bumper and just set it on these, you know what I'm saying? And then with the trunk shut, it's not going to be able to come up. For the most part, like I want everything on this car to be able to be removed rather quickly, you know what I'm saying? I really don't know why I want the rear bumper to remove quickly, but I don't know, it's cool, race car shit, right? I'm also putting Loctite on all of these. I can't find my red Loctite, but blue Loctite will work. Just as long as we got some kind of Loctite on them, because I don't want them to vibrate out. Alright, so just like that, so now we have a stud in the center. I probably can cut this shorter, we'll see. Hopefully this is going to work the way I'm wanting it to. Bang, bang. That's not coming off, especially with the trunks in there. Shoo! What's up? Alright, so what I'm wanting to do over here on the sides is I ordered a pack of these like push lock things. Bang bang. Yes, they're the cheapy ones off of Amazon. It's all good, bro. I'm not going to use it for holding my damn hood down, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever use these on your hood. The cheap ones. I don't know about the expensive ones. I don't have experience with those, but yeah. The best place that I can actually bolt this pin up is right here. So that's where I kind of put this up here and lined it up. Sent the drill bit all the way through. So going through the bumper and the metal. Bang. So it lines up, you know what I'm saying? So our hole in the bumper is lined up with the hole right here for the pin. So we have our pin in, and now what I need to do is obviously oversize this hole so that the actual clip will screw onto the bumper, and then we make sure that we get this depth correctly. We got to set the depth basically to where whenever we pop this on, the bumper is nice and flush. Alright, so the hole is now big enough for the lock to actually go in. So, and if we hold the bumper up here, you can see that that pin is actually dead center of that hole, which is really good. That means we're on a good track, bro. It's nice since I'm doing this before we paint. I'm gonna be able to go over this and sand it and get all the burrs and everything off. So definitely good. Bam. So there it is, dude. Simple as that. So now it's on there, solid, not going nowhere, right? Press the button, pulls off, and then we just literally pull the bumper off the studs in the back and your rear bumper's off, bro, just like that. And then put it back on, just boom, pops right on. Now I'm not gonna worry about tightening all this stuff up right now. We'll do that whenever we're actually putting it on for the final time after we get it painted and all that. Oh yeah, now we just gotta do the other side. And then I think I'm gonna move on to trying to go ahead and mount the trunk right now too. We may as well, because I need to paint the trunk. All right, so the bumper's completely done. Got the push lock on the driver's side and push lock on the passenger side. Came out really clean, bro. I'm actually excited about those. I've been wanting to do this like forever, man. I've been wanting to do this to khaki. So one of these days, if you guys don't know, one of these days, when we get all these projects done, I'm gonna pull khaki aside and we're gonna go over khaki and just completely refresh that car, man. I have a lot of like plans to go for like, I don't know, I guess you can call version 2 of khaki. I bought like, I don't know, I want to say a 16 pack of these things. I bought a bunch of them because the original idea was I was going to use those on the doors. But since I cut so much out of these rear doors, there was really no way to really utilize that, man, because yeah, there's just nowhere that the material actually lines up to be able to run these the pins on these. Plus those pins are so short, like it just wasn't going to work out. That's the reason why I ended up going with this. But anyhow, moving on to the trunk now. I have absolutely no idea exactly how I'm going to do this, so we are 100% brainstorming here. I have it set up. Basically, this is the trunk that came off of that junk 4-door out there, and they had it bolted, so that's the reason why these holes are drilled in it. Unfortunately, the holes are drilled in it. So I'm gonna try to kind of figure out to use this as a mounting point since the holes are already there. But there's gonna need to be more than just those two. I'm gonna need something down here, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I gotta see. I mean, ideally I would like to get one of those push locks like down here and then have some up here so that there's 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I don't know if there's any material back there to actually do that with. Another problem is the fact that I don't trust those things too terribly much, man. Like, I would hate to be driving down the street or going down the track or whatever, and this trunk just end up like poof, blowing off the back because those push locks fail. So another idea that I'm thinking about maybe doing is something similar to this, but I don't think we'll actually need a little tab. Like if I was to line that hole up and actually put a rib nut behind there and then just use a bolt, a washer and a bolt right there, and then somewhere down here as well. I think that would probably be the safer option. That, or maybe just do the bolts up here do a bolt and a bolt because I know that's not going to go nowhere, and then do the push pin down here, like a push pin, and then bolt, bolt. So I don't know, I'm gonna figure something out and then I'll update you. Alright, so as for the trunk, yes, I went ahead and made some little clips, you know, the clips that everybody just loves so much. But anyhow, so it's riveted onto the trunk itself, and then we went ahead and did a rib nut onto this little whatever this piece is called, but onto the chassis. So now the bottom section right here is just gonna bolt on, and then the top up here, I have decided that I'm not going to do anything with this quite yet. We're going to go ahead and paint it right now. As far as mounting it on the top section up here, I think I'm going to go ahead and build that into the actual drag wing whenever we get to that point. I don't want to do something right now and then end up having to redo it later whenever we actually make the drag wing. So that's going to be coming up here pretty quick. Whenever we get like all the body panels and the windows and stuff done, I want to start on doing like the aluminum fabrication and stuff on this car and for Venom. So yeah, the drag wing will end up having the attachment points. I have an idea for it, so we'll cover that whenever we actually get to it. Alright, went ahead and got the hood bolted up to the hinges because I did pick up a set of Arrow Catch hood pins. These are my favorite hood pins, bro. I trust these things more than I trust anything else. I mean, you just can't beat an actual hood pin. Like, this is a solid metal pin that hooks to the chassis, and then it has a solid metal pin that goes through it that actually holds your hood. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just so much better than trying to trust those push lock things. But first things first is we need to find a place to actually bolt the pins up, and then we can drill the hood. All right, got the pins mounted up, and I set them as low as I possibly can. And I know that this protruding into the headlight area, that's gonna be a problem. So whenever we actually get this adjusted correctly, then I'll go ahead and cut the extra off so that we don't have issues with the headlights fitting, you know what I'm saying? But now what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of this primer spray paint, and I'm gonna put some right on the tip. You guys know what's up. Got some wet paint right on the tip of the pins. So now what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and shut the hood, press down. You can hear it tapping that pin. Press down and open it back up. And that is where we need to drill our hole. And that is where we need to drill our hole. I drilled a pilot hole first, a really small hole, so I can make sure that I get it right in the dead center of our mark. And now I'm gonna go through and mow that thing bigger with a unibit. So now, if everything went well, that pin should do exactly that. Perfection, my friend. So now basically what I need to do is adjust this pin to where it's sticking up through the hood. All right, so I have the backer plate on here, but what I'm gonna do is I want to flip the backer plate upside down because that flat surface is what I want to be sitting on the hood. I'm just gonna use this to mark it. So basically, it's not supposed to be like that. It's upside down right now. But you want the pin sticking up just enough to where we can actually, watch, line this thing up inside of there. So we can line it up and actually put the pin in. See, I gotta go up just a little bit more. I'm pushing down on the hood and that's all I can get, and it's not enough to actually get the pin to go through. We gotta go up just a little bit more. And now, you see, we can actually put the latch through the pin. So now, that's done. We know those are gonna line up. So basically at this point, now what you wanna do, you just wanna get these things like positioned how it is you want them. And you see how that backer plate has dropped down now? So now with the backer plate sitting flush on the hood, we can take a Sharpie and go around and mark the outside of it. That's just the outside of it. That's not where you want to cut. All right, once you know they're where you want them to be, try to hold it to where it's not gonna move. We're gonna go around and mark the outside of that little bracket. All right, so what we marked is the outside of the bracket. Like I've said, I'm repeating myself because I want to make sure you guys understand this. You don't want to cut that outside. What you want to do is now that mark that you made, you use that to line this thing back up. Make sure it's dead right on your mark, bro. It's got to be perfectly lined up with that mark you made. And now what we're going to do is go through and mark this inside. That is what you want to cut. Is the inside of it, not the outside. That's pretty much it, bro. That's installing some arrow catch head pins. Now from here, that little backer piece goes on the back. You put all the hardware in, tighten it down, and then you got to adjust the pins until whenever the hood is shut, they sit just right to be able to lock them. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to be doing all that right now because, of course, I just wanted to get all of that out of the way so now we can go ahead and paint the hood without worrying about damaging the paint. You know what I'm saying? So we have the mounting situated for the hood. Got the hood pins done. Got the bumper done with the little quick link things, quick button, whatever the hell they're freaking called on the back. Got the trunk done as I can get it until we fabricate the rear drag wing for it. So other than doing a little bit of sanding here and there, they're basically ready for paint, bro. Alright, so we went running around looking for paint. I mentioned a few videos ago that we actually ran out of this Rust-Oleum. So, of course, like all the Home Depots didn't have it. I ended up finding it at Lowe's, and they didn't have the satin once again. So I needed to get gloss, and then they didn't have gallon cans in the flat. If you guys remember last time, I got 1 gallon of gloss, 1 gallon of flat, and then mixed them so we can get the satin. So they only had a gallon of gloss, and then they had the quart cans in the flat. So I got 2 quart cans, which is all they had. So basically, if you guys didn't know, there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So 2 of these will make half of a gallon. So I'm gonna take one of these empty cans from our last paint. I'll pour both of these in there, which will come out to half, and then I'll fill it up the rest of the way with the gloss, and then mix it together, and then we'll have our satin paint once again. All right, guys, I have everything pretty much ready. Got the paint in my gun, got everything sanded, all the dust blown off. I'm gonna go put this camera out of the booth now and actually strap the GoPro on my head, because this paint gets sticky, bro. It's disgusting. I'm tired of having to clean it off my camera. Anyhow, here we go. is, man. I did 3 heavy coats on everything. So basically, and I painted the back of everything as well. Obviously the hood and the trunk, but the back of the fenders and the back of the bumper, for whatever reason, bro. I even did that on khaki. Like the inside and back side of everything is painted. And I just like doing it that way. But you guys already know this stuff's gonna have to hang in here and dry for a couple of days now. So we're not gonna be able to put Gotham together right away. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please smash the like button. It most certainly helps tremendously. What I think I'm gonna be doing now, pulling the van out, bro. I wanna get the van all cleaned up and get all the mud off of it, figure out that cracked wheel. Yeah. Thing is that we may potentially be trading the van for something. It's pretty exciting, if it goes through. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, and we still have a slam doty. But if it does go through, it's gonna help with something on the channel tremendously. But that'll be tomorrow for you guys. Peace.